For me, the primary reason is the power imbalance that exists in the dating market. It's made clear with statistics on dating apps, such as the likelihood of getting a match. It's much higher if you are a woman instead of a man. Men are the seekers, the pursuers, the chasers, so naturally the access, so to speak, is controlled by women. They can afford to be pickier than men when selecting their partner in the online dating context, of course. But I'd imagine this also extends to real life as well. I also think it's about perceived social values. As a man, your attractiveness will probably take a bigger hit if you are a failure socially, financially, etc. than if you are a woman. In the current state of things, where many young people in general feel a little lost, are possibly lonely, or just failing at life, men are going to suffer slightly more from that in the dating market because a bigger part of men's attractiveness to women is in relation to those things than it is the other way around. Pew Research Center put out this very interesting piece of research recently that talked about the historic rise in unpartnered Americans. What they found was interesting when it sorts of left them with a lot of question marks, but some proposed answers as to why this is happening. One of the things that was very fascinating is that young men are twice as likely to be single than young women. 66% of young men are single and not dating and unpartnered, but only 34% of young women are single and not partnered. So, what's happening? Where's the discrepancy? Young women are just dating older. They're just dating men that are in their early 30s that maybe are more financially stable or more mature. Maybe they're more stable in their careers. They finished their degrees, they've started paying off their student loans, they've got a mortgage, or a car, or whatever the case is. To a lot of women, that is very appealing and attractive. A lot of the studies have shown that on average, women still want men who are making as much of them, if not more, and the emphasis there is on the if, not more. The average woman in the dating market today between ages 18 and 29 or above are still wanting men who are able to acquire more resources than them, who are able to outperform them. So the challenge that I think has happened is that we can talk about social media and dating apps and all those things. But one of the biggest discrepancies that I think has started to emerge is that as women have become more and more financially independent, their mate or selection preferences haven't adapted or changed along with that financial independence. So the reality is that women, even though they say they don't need a man to pay for anything, there's still in many cases this underlying expectation or this underlying desire to have a man who outearns them. So, as women are starting to make more and more money, their expectation and what they want in a partner is that that person still outearns them. That person is still somebody who is able to provide more than them in some capacity, and this, I think, is really impacting young men. Because if you're a woman who comes out of college, you have a college degree. Maybe you get a job, or at college, you're making 50, 60 grand. You're looking around at the men that you went to college with, or maybe you're looking at the men on Tinder and Bumble and Hinge, or whatever the platform you're on. First and foremost, you're starting to see that fewer men have a college degree. So suddenly, for women who have a college degree who prefer men that have one as well, something like 70 to 80% of women who have college degrees will not or don't want to date men without a college degree. As you have this rising rate of men who are not graduating college, who are not even going to college, and you have this ballooning number of women that are going to college and graduating from college because it's now flipped right. It's like the vast majority of college graduates are women. It's only like 41 or 42% of college graduates are now men. And so that's inverse from what it was in the 1960s and 70s. In the 1960s and 70s, it was the opposite of that. It was only 41 or 42 of women that were graduating with a college degree. So now it's switched, and fewer men are going to college than ever before, and fewer men are getting college degrees. So, part of the challenge that's emerging within the dating market is that in terms of women's selection preferences, what they're looking for in a man and in a mate, that pool is shrinking. Here's a thought. Men aren't only not dating and not finding partners, but we are failing to build close friendships with other men. and in-person social networks that women are attracted to. Ignore the career-chasing women. They're a lost cause if they elevate that above marriage, but most women are drawn to men with good social standing who are respected in their social circle. They're social creatures. People, and especially women, see you as a tool and a means to get ahead. Once life hits the fan, no one comes to your aid. Even for the simplest of things, you are a dull tool, easily discarded and replaceable. If you try to stick around, you are framed and seen as the problem. Move on, make new friends, rinse, and repeat. This issue goes beyond girls. The very way people make and maintain friendships has become warped and distorted. It's simply not worth it. In the old days, video games used to be an outlet for work, chit-chat, and random encounters, but that too has all gone away. The black pill here is that men need to climb an endless mountain of self-improvement before they even have a shot at being in a relationship, whereas women only need to exist in order to score a guy. Being in nature and hanging out with the guys may help people who are already socially well-adjusted, but it isn't going to help men who have been socially isolated from any positive social contact for so long that they've completely lost the ability to talk and connect to people. Abject social isolation is a problem unique to modern men, and it's not something that a stroll through the forest is automatically going to fix. In a nutshell, the majority of today's modern women want a man who is better and more successful than them in the most important life segments. They want higher earners, more intelligent, better educated, stronger, and emotionally stable partners whom they can look up to. It's in their nature and gene code, but the real question is what they provide in return. Are they pretty, friendly, fit, feminine, and supportive? In most cases, they are not and have zero incentive to work on themselves because they think options are unlimited. That's why most of them remain single or divorced with kids. By 2050, projections are that more than 50% of women in their 30s will be single and childless. The problem is real, and the future is grim for both genders. Hypergamy is the real reason. We as men need to grow our expectations higher and stop giving women whatever they want, while also sacrificing our own well-being. This isn't supposed to be for revenge or anything, but because women have so much more freedom in choosing their partner. They can be so much pickier than us men. And we as men keep simping and sacrificing who we are just to be with a woman. This isn't healthy for either gender, and this isn't to make women feel worse. A society with a large number of lonely, angry, frustrated young men is bad, and if this problem is left to fester, it could lead to chaos and destruction. Being single and without a partner is only part of the problem. In this modern world, there is a sense of emptiness, specifically within young men. There is no calling, no purpose, and no reason to rationalize our existence. We just live day to day in modernity, enjoying cheap thrills that for the moment bring joy, but don't last very long. There are no more great adventures to be had, no new things to discover/explore. There is no great evil to be defeated. From what I can see, women consider breaking even in a relationship as a loss. If a woman can't get a man that can do more than her and have more than her, then there's no reason to be with him for anything other than a pastime. It seems that only once women experience truly overwhelming desperation will that mindset change. So as a young man, you really can't consider any physical relationship as anything other than transactional. It really feels like doing anything else with your life would be better than pining for the delusion of romance. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. And let us know your thoughts on this in the comments. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.